Last week, it was revealed that a gold mine, the billion-dollar McPhillamys Gold Project in Blayney Shire in the central west region of New South Wales, was blocked by the Federal Environment Minister, Tanya, Plibersek, using Aboriginal Heritage laws. I'll get to those laws soon. It's amazing one person has so much power. Specifically, it wasn't the mine being blocked, but rather the tailings dam, which is essentially used to store the waste byproducts of the mining operation. According to a fact sheet by Regis Resources, who own the gold project, the waste slurry is passed through a cyanide detoxification plant. The ground slurry, which has had the gold recovered and the free cyanide destroyed, is called tailings. This controversy even made the international news. On the Forbes website, mine ban sparks warning of a sovereign risk crisis in Australia. They state, green lawfare is threatening to kill Australia's all-important mining and energy industries after a senior government minister overruled her own officials to block a proposed gold mine which had received every legally required approval. Tanya Plibersek, Minister for the Environment and Water, refused to approve the development of the McPhillamys mine of Regis Resources in New South Wales, saying she had received a private briefing from a group of Aboriginal protesters. Plibersek relied on an obscure clause in the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Heritage Protection Act, which permits the lodging of confidential and culturally sensitive information which does not have to be publicly revealed. According to the New South Wales Government's planning portal, the application was initially made in 2019 and every step of the way has been approved, up until the recent ministerial decision. Here's the Act in question: Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Heritage Protection Act 1984, Section 10. It states, where the Minister receives an application made orally or in writing by or on behalf of an Aboriginal or a group of Aboriginals, is satisfied that the area is a significant Aboriginal area and that it is under threat of injury or desecration. Despite Ms. Plibersek invoking Section 10, she disputes the mining company's claim that the project is no longer viable. She said, "It doesn't mean the gold mine can't go ahead. It simply means an Aboriginal heritage site can't be destroyed. Building a waste dump on that particular site would have destroyed the headwaters of the Bulubbula River, which is a place of particular significance to Wiradjuri people and is linked to ongoing cultural practices of the area. It has thousands of years of use and culture attached to it. Its destruction would be devastating for traditional owners in the local area." Aboriginal artist and Wiradjuri elder Auntie Nari Reynolds was one of the people who helped convince the minister to rule against the proposed gold mine. She said, "We knew that place was special because our old people have been talking about the Bulubbula for a long time. It's a sacred songline. More than often, we get told our knowledge isn't traditional enough and we make things up. But we've been told by our ancestors to always stay on our songline and talk straight and tell the truth. Many dreaming stories follow its path and no one has the right to destroy this. No one. This river sustains life. It will not sustain life if the headwaters are poisoned. The ancestors who are leaving will turn around and come back should this land be saved from the ravages of mining. To kill the Bulubbula by putting cement in the springs was unthinkable. So long as it's been here, this little river, it's only tiny, but it's our river." In 2014, Ms. Reynolds identified as a Gamilarey descendant when she wrote a letter of protest against a proposed goat abattoir in Blayney. In response, she has said, "That's common. Some people have 3 different nations in their heritage." Funnily enough, not every Aboriginal group agrees with this decision. The Orange Local Aboriginal Land Council, who are the statutory body who have authority to speak for the area on which the gold project is located, had no issue with the proposed mine. They wrote to the New South Wales Independent Planning Commission last year stating, "The proposed development would not impact any known sites or artefacts of high significance." Senior Wiradjuri leader Roy R.C. has spoken on the issue. He said, "If it's got the support of the local Aboriginal Land Council, that should be enough for the minister to listen to the recognised Aboriginal party. If you don't have that structure, you have chaos. We can have anyone ringing up saying they're Wiradjuri and it doesn't feel right to me. That's why the Land Council is so important, because in order to become a member, there are certain requirements and restrictions. They are the statutory authority. The Green attitude is that all our land should be locked up for environmental national parks, and that wasn't the intent of the New South Wales land rights legislation. The environmental view is that Aboriginal people should be environmentalists. That's not true. That shoe doesn't fit. We are balanced. It is about economic empowerment for us. We want to create economic opportunities for the future generations, and we are not going to do that by locking up our land and using them as environmental corridors or offsets for other developers. That's crazy. New South Wales Premier Chris Minns has criticised Minister Plibersek's decision and expressed disappointment about the timing of the declaration, saying, "To be knocked over at the 11th hour is disappointing in terms of mining gold and other critical minerals in New South Wales, which we desperately need, because coal mining is under pressure, particularly when it comes to export markets." He went on to say that the state government could not overrule a federal decision. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese insisted there was nothing to stop the mine being built, saying, "The gold mine can go ahead. Chris Minns would like it to go ahead. I'd like it to go ahead too. The mine has not been opposed. What we're talking about is a tailings dam, and the company itself put forward a range of options that were considered, and they should work to ensure the project can go ahead." Blayney Shire Mayor Scott Ferguson said there were many who felt disappointed by the fallout of the decision, saying, "There's certainly plenty of people that are very disappointed that we probably won't see $1 billion investment in the region that was going to bring hundreds and hundreds of jobs. There was an expectation that if this mine was to start next year, it would be just the shot in the arm that we would need. This process is a secretive, disingenuous process that is serving to drive our communities apart, not bring us together." So what are your thoughts? Are Aboriginal heritage laws being weaponised against Indigenous progress and prosperity? Do you agree with the Blayney Mayor that the processes are very divisive? Is it right that individuals have the power to scupper billion-dollar projects based on confidential and culturally sensitive information?